Welcome back. This is Mr. Hassan's Maths channel, and I'm now answering a question from one of my end of topic worksheets on variation. This is from the IGCSE end of topic worksheet that I have for my classes, and this question is about proportion, and it says, or variation. This is from the chapter of variation, and it states that y is directly proportional to x squared, which means that y is equal to some constant times x squared. It is known that y equals 10 for a particular value of x. Find the value of y when this value of x is halved. Okay, we can do this kind of logically, and we can do this algebraically. I'll show you the algebraic method first, and then we can kind of see the logic behind it afterwards. Although this question is only worth 1 mark, it's really quite a logical kind of way of dealing with this question. Okay, so y is equal to kx squared. So it says, let's say when y equals 10, let's say y1 equals 10, and that means x1 we can find an expression for it. So you'll have 10 equals k times x1 squared. So we can say x1 squared is equal to 10 over k. And then we can say, for example, y2, we want to find the value of this. This is what we want to find. y2 we have to find when x1 is equal to a half of what it was before. So x2 is equal to half of what it was before. So the second value of x, let's call it a half of x1, so x1 over 2. So then we can say that y2 is equal to k times, k is constant in this whole thing, x1 over 2 squared. Y equals kx squared. So y2, if we put this, we have to find what this is what we have to find. This is what we're looking for when that first value of x that we put in, which we're going to call x1, is halved. So x1 over 2, half of x1 is half x1 over 2. So you'll end up with y2 equals k times, and this is going to be x1 squared over 4. So we can rearrange this. Okay, we can rearrange this, and we can write this as 4 times y2 over k equals x1 squared. So now I have an expression for x1 squared in terms of both of these. So I can say that 10 over k equals 4y2 over k. If we multiply both sides by k, the k's cancel out, and I've got y2 is equal to 10 divided by 4. 10 divided by 4, so y2 is equal to 2.5. Okay, so the answer is 2.5. That's the value of y. Okay, when y was 10, okay, and you got y equals some constant times x squared. If you halve k, okay, then what's going to happen is you're going to divide y by 4. All right, that's how this will work out, because we've got a relationship here where they're directly proportional. Y is directly proportional to k squared, to x squared. Sorry. So if y is if x is halved, okay, if you divide x by 2, then y is going to be reduced by a quarter, because a half squared gives you a quarter. So y is going to be a quarter of itself. If you double x, if x is doubled, y is going to increase by a factor of 4. It's kind of like the area factor, and the volume factor. If x is squared, then y is going to be, if x is 2 and you square that, then y is going to be increased by a factor of 4. So y increases by the square of the factor that x increases. So if x is halved, y is going to be changed by a quarter, because a half squared is equal to a quarter, right? So that means this 10 is going to be not divided by 2, but divided by 4. If x is divided by 2, then y is going to be divided by 4, because y equals x squared. Okay, so if y is basically proportional to x squared, I should say. So if this is reduced, if this is halved, then this is basically a quarter of what it was before, because half raised to the power of 2 is a quarter. Okay, so you can do this algebraically like this, where we just took the the original equation here, where we call this, when y is 10, x is a certain value. Okay, so we can say that means x squared is equal to 10 over k, because y is equal to kx squared. Y is directly proportional to x squared. So we can say x1 squared is 10 over k. That's the original value of x. And when we take the original value of x and we half it, and then we want to find what the new value of y is, we say y2 is equal to that original value of x divided by 2, but then squared. That gives you k times x squared over 4, because 2 squared is 4. That means x squared can also be expressed as 4y squared over k, just cross multiplying. So that means x1 squared, and this is also x1 squared, they're equal to each other. So 10 equals 4y squared, so 4y2, so y2 is equal to 10 over 4, which is 2.5. That's the second value of y, that's the value of y, when the value of x has been halved, okay, which is a quarter of what it was. Right, so you can do this kind of like algebraically, or you can think logically, which is probably the easier way of dealing with it. So there's the answer for 6 part A, as one of the students asked me to do. So there it is. Thank you for watching. Other questions you want to find from this particular worksheet, if I'm asked them, will be found in the playlist over here. Other questions from my end of topic worksheets, IGCSE worksheets, can be found in the playlist over here, and you can click on the description to find other material from my IGCSE and AS and A-level work if you need to refer to it. Thank you for watching.